PlayStation Prize Fighter!
You say you want to be a street fighter. You're no street fighter.
You can make a case that Capcom's Street Fighter II is one of the most important video games ever released. It may not have been the first, but it popularized the one-on-one tournament fighter, had countless sequels, comics, toys, anime movies, and a major motion picture starring Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Now, who wants to go home? And who wants to go with me?
In 1992, Sega was in development of something special. They had big plans, and it was called Virtua Fighter, the first 3D polygonal-based fighting game. Released to arcades in 1993, it featured fully 3D people scrapping it out in 3D environments. Well, mostly just flat surfaces, but you get the idea. The bar had been set, and it was a high mark to meet, because not only was it the first, it was good. Damn good.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
And now 2D fighters were slowly becoming passé because the dawn of the 3D fighter had arrived. Like Street Fighter II, Virtua Fighter had its own share of clone fighters, like a lot. Battle Arena Toshinden, Bloody Roar, Urgis or Urgais, Evil Zone, Fighting Vipers, Dead or Alive, Bushido Blade, Mortal Kombat 4, Rival Schools, Star Gladiator, Star Wars, even Street Fighter with the EX series. Tekken is probably the most popular of the lot, a series that has far surpassed its predecessors and is still as popular as ever today.
No job's too big.
No job's too small.
We're father and son. Give us a call. For a free home estimate, call 585-5500.
You are a murderer!
The game we're finally getting around to is another important one, and another one that is still kicking around in the modern era, Soul Edge, or better known to us Westerners as Soul Blade, which led us to the incredible Soul Calibur series. But how does the first entry hold up? Is the PS1 game still fun to play? Or is it merely an antique to look at and analyze?
Okay, USA.
Transcending history and the world, a tale of soul and swords, eternally retold.
Ported to the PlayStation to US gamers in early 1997 by Namco and developed by Team Soul. The story of Soul Blade revolves around the contestants trying to get their hands on the Soul Edge, a weapon of immense power. It's held by the evil pirate Cervantes, and depending on who you pick, the weapon will either be destroyed or kept for their own nefarious reasons. And whatever Valdo is doing. Yeah, Valdo's weird. This is a standard 3D fighter. You have your health bars up the top, and when that's gone, you're knocked out. Just below that is your weapon meter, which allows you to use a powerful attack called a critical edge. Also, should you fall out of the ring, that's a ring out, and you automatically lose the round, regardless of remaining energy you have. I've always loved fighting games with this feature, since it makes things really exciting if you or your opponent are near the edge battling it out. For me, I love it. It's a lot of fun. Looking at the controls, square is your horizontal strike, triangle is your vertical strike, circle kicks, and X is your block. Double tapping forward or back will give you a dash, and up is the jump. Pressing down twice will move your fighter into the foreground, while down up moves them to the background. Should you have enough weapon meter, pressing all three attack buttons unleashes your critical edge, a devastating combo attack. Also, if you time it correctly, you can parry an opponent's attack by hitting forward and block. This will leave them defenseless for a couple of seconds and opens them up to a combo. Each fighter has their own weapons too. Mitsurugi has a katana, Sungmina a spear, Siegfried has a big old sword, and you get the idea. It's not the first weapon-based fighting game. That distinction belongs to Samurai Showdown, but it is cool to see it in 3D. Also, I must say Soul Blade responds pretty quick to your inputs, which is incredibly important to this type of game. It is a fighter. It does, however, suffer from that, I'm going to call it 3D fighter. It can be a little stiff in the movement, but this is pretty well common for these types of fighters, especially the earlier ones. Tekken also suffers from it, so that's just a tiny nitpick. Our roster size is pretty good. There's a total of 10 fighters to choose from right from the get-go. The Samurai Mitsurugi, pole vaulting champ, I kid you, Sungmina, the misunderstood Siegfried, warrior goddess Sophitia, Rock, yeah, his name is.
But my name's Billy. It doesn't matter what your name is.
And a bunch of other pretty cool characters. And then there's Valdo. Yeah, he's different. Well, let's get into the graphics here. Yes, this is a PS1 game from 1997. Does it look the best? Of course not. But it does have that 3D chunkiness kind of charm to it. The polygons look nice, the color choice is pretty damn good, and each character looks interesting. Some are a little too interesting. But nothing is super generic. It all screams like, pick me to lay waste to your enemies.
Wrong! Conan, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and to hear the lamentation of the
Sega players.
That is good.
Stage-wise, I think they stand up pretty well to Father Time. Some of my favorites include the Shrine and the Bamboo Forest, the mountaintop complete with swaying grass, really cool, and you can even fight on a raft. The opening intro screen, I think, still holds up very well. It's quite incredible on how beautiful it is, even decades later. And the ending cutscenes aren't too shabby either. A little cheesy, but they're good.
Oh boy, that sounded bad.
Game modes are plentiful, lots of industry standards like your arcade ladder, time attack, survival mode, practice mode, and exclusive to Soul Blade is the Weapon Master mode. This mode has you finding extra weapons by searching the globe. You'll have to fight various battles with different conditions like less health, draining health, or using throws to damage your opponent. Each character has 7 extra weapons to nab, as well as 1 hidden one. So when you get tired of beating arcade ladder for the millionth time, Weapon Master is quite a distraction and will definitely test your skills. There's also a type of weapon gallery where you can view the weapons you've collected and see their various stats. So some improve your attack strength, defense, give you health regeneration, and other things like that. Best of all, you can take all of these newfound items into arcade mode, any mode actually, really.
Yep.
Checking out the options menu, we can change the difficulty, adjust the ring size, how many battles per fight, time, as well as what kind of weapon the computer will use, and so on. On the ring size, it's actually a lot of fun to play in the smaller rings, making for faster battles, and one wrong move and bam, you're flying out of the ring like Olympia from WMAC Masters.
Dragon Star Champion.
Totally 90s kid thing. One thing that always stood out to me with the Soul series is the epic music. Soul Blade is no different. The orchestral themes, strings, big brass sounds, drums, some oriental flares. It just reminds me of something like John Williams would have done. Really good. Sungmina's theme is definitely one of my favorites, as well as Recollect Continent, theme of rock. Either way, the music is top tier. Same goes with the sound effects. The clashing of weapons is excellent. Every block and parry sounds just like a battle with weapons. Some of the cutscene voices and acting is a little shaky and kind of cheesy, but it just adds to the charm in my opinion. Double thumbs up for the audio. Gaming magazines at the time praised Soul Blade. EGM number 92 gave it a score of 33 out of 40. Next Gen magazine gave it 4 stars, saying it reaches the upper echelon of fighters. PSM magazine number 1 retroactively gave Soul Blade a 5 out of 5. And GamePro number 102 called it an early contender for Fighting Game of the Year with an incredible score of 19.5 out of 20. Wow! My time playing through Soul Blade was awesome. While I was capturing footage, I was just sucked into the game and finding myself spending many hours with it. The controls are really good, even though it has that chunkiness, slowness factor to it. The music and sound effects are top-notch, some of the very best on the PS1. While the roster is small, the characters look great and are very memorable. There's plenty of modes to play and weapons to find for everyone. I kneel before the king of 3D fighters. This is a must-play for all fighting game fans, new and old.
Win.
I will never forget you.
It's not Tekken, it's Tekken.
It's not Tekken, it's Tekken.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's not Tekken, it's Tekken.